Hello everyone, Razia Mashkoor from India International Film Festival of Boston 2020, where it's known as IIFFB. So we are very fortunate to have two prominent film personalities who are connected with immense connection with the Om Puri ji, Anand Mahadevan and Mrs. Nandita Puri. About Nandita. Nandita is an author, journalist, TEDx speaker, and a wife of late Om Puri. Apart from being a regular columnist in with Midday and Dainik Bhaskar, she has been on the script committee of National Film Development Committee and Children's Film Society of India. Amongst her books, her biography, Unlikely Hero, Om Puri, is a bestseller, having been translated into several languages. Her collection of short stories, 909, has been critically acclaimed and has been in the curriculum of Denmark University. Her work has been included in the Sahitya Academy Anthology of Indian Writers. In 2017, Nandita launched the Om Free Foundation at the 17th Cannes Film Festival at the British Film Institute Pavilion. The idea behind the foundation was to carry forward the legacy and the philosophy of her husband, Om Puri. Thank you, Nandita. And welcome, Anand. Anand Mahadevan is a screenwriter, actor, and director of Hindi and Marathi films and TV actor for more than 35 years. He is the recipient of National Film Awards for his films Sindhu Tai Sapkal and Mai Ghat. He acted in popular TV serials like Ghar Jamai, Ados Pados, and The Sword of Tipu Sultan. He has just published Once Upon a Prime Time, an autobiographical recounting of the story of Indian television. Having been an integral part of the Indian television and movies since 1980, he is also involved in professional English and Hindi theatre. Welcome, Anand, at IIFB's platform. And I would like to say something quick about the Puri Foundation. The Om Puri Foundation is a trust formed in the name of the late actor Om Puri. This foundation aims to take his legacy, his philosophy, and the values he stood for all his life forward. Some he fulfilled in his lifetime, and some were left unfinished by his untimely demise. Om Puri came from an extremely humble background with not even a wooden spoon in his mouth, nor a proper roof over his head. It was his sheer will, determination, and hard work that fulfilled his single ambition of becoming an actor. He could never have imagined, even in his wildest dream, that his incredible acting talent would take him to the heights he eventually reached. So, we all are experienced with that, and we are really fortunate to have him. Thank you so much, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for joining me, Nandita and Anand. It's a great pleasure to see you both on in my IIFB, India International Film Festival of Boston. This year we are privileged and so happy and thrilled, my team of IIFB, to have OMG as our Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Anand, would you like to tell me about your connection with OMG, and how did you connect, and what is your experience with him?
With Omji, it's been a long-standing relationship. It's been on two fronts, personal and professional. Um I met Omji during the press screening of a film called Godhuli, which Girish Karnad had directed. And that's the first time I met him, because in those days I was a film critic, and I met Omji at the Blaze Minuet in Kolaba in Mumbai, and where we saw the film. And of course, Nandita, you must not have met him at that time. It's much, much before Nandita's era,
Oh.
you know. Yeah, so he got talking, and of course, I was interested in the kind of films that he was doing, and I asked him what is he doing next, and he said he's doing a film with the great Satyajit Ray. So I said, "Oh my God, that is amazing! We can't wait," you know. I asked him, "So what are you playing in that?" And in Goduli, he had played a Harijan. And
Mm.
when I asked him what he was doing in Sadgati, the film he was doing with Mr. Ray, he very shyly said, Harijan, you know. So that was the first meeting and the memory I had of Omji, and I was extremely thrilled because I was meeting one of my very, very favorite actors, and Omji had just sort of hit the scene at that time. And then, of course, I did a lot of films which OMG was featured in. I was the advertising agency, I mean, like Ardha Satya and so many others. So it was, you know, a long journey meeting him at all the press meets and conferences. And then, of course, later on, I turned into an actor, and then he was very, very active on television. And he did Kakaji Kahe and Discovery of India, very, very important, you know, milestones on Indian television. And we enjoyed him thoroughly. And later on you know, when I went and met him, of course, then Nandita, he was married to Nandita, and Ishan was there in their life, and we met, and then that was when I wanted to cast him for a remake of you know, a sort of a cult caper called Victoria Number 203. And the person who was making it was Brit Sadana's son, Kamal Sadana. So the rights were in the family, and so I wanted to cast Omji in the part of Ashok Kumar. So that was when I met him, and then we had a great time together, quite a whale of a time together, shooting Victoria Number 203, you know, Reloaded. And of course, then after that, we were always in touch. His book and his journey, such a long journey, in fact, such a wonderful journey. So I'm really privileged and honored to have known OMG, and of course, in the process, Nandita ji. And the journey continues, the relationship continues today with Nandita. And today, when I've written my book, Once Upon a Prime Time, OMG features so prominently because it's a history of Indian television. It's a story of Indian television, and OMG features so prominently in that. So I mean, what can I say but that he was a part, a big, big integral part of our lives, and it's uh, it's a bit upsetting to talk about him in the past tense, but I don't talk about him in the past tense. He's very much there, and we
Yeah.
revisit all his works. I sometimes leaf through Nandita's book for the umpteenth time and see his photographs. I see all the recollections that she's done in the book devoted to him. So that's what it is. He was India's true blue-eyed international star. You know, the true,
Absolutely.
genuine international star. And the number of people he worked with, and the kind of people he worked with, the directors and the actors, it's truly laudable and worth emulating. So I would place him on a pedestal, and I'm sure he deserves it, and he has to be there because he has you know, sort of shown us the path to follow. And he has one very lovely, wonderful thing about him is that if on one hand he would do a film like City of Joy, a very, very you know, internationally renowned project, on the other hand, he would not shy away from doing a film like Victoria 203. I mean, why would he want to do a film like Victoria 203? He's done much better, and he's done much more. But that was what OMG was all about. You know, he never let down his own colleagues and his own friends, and even if it meant, you know, pandering to the gallery for a moment, he never fought shy of it, and he gave his best. It wasn't that he held himself back. So that was OMG, what OMG was all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, you are absolutely right. Because we just saw him in pictures, never met, but You met his, you are, the family or colleagues, so you know more than us. We just saw his films and we know him through his films. But anything you want to say about something happen funny or something which is describe him on set when you are during your shooting,
He
something
was a
happen.
happy-go-lucky person, and yet at the same time very focused on his work. So, his very what would one say, bass voice and his garrulous laughter always greeted us, and he was a very warm, welcoming person, and he made work very enjoyable. One episode of one particular, the only time I worked with him as an actor was when Gulzar Saab made a series called Kirdar.
Mm.
And this was an adaptation of Sunset Boulevard, where Omji, Nadira ji, I mean, where would I was blessed to work with two great actors, veterans, and I was, the junior artist, as they call. So I was the absolute inexperienced novice there amongst the greats like Gulzar, Nadira ji, and Omji. And even there, he put me at ease because I was just about started off 2 or 3 years into television. So that was what he was. I mean, I will always have very warm memories of him. That's how I put it.
Awesome. Nandita, is you are here and you are much a part of his life. Would you like to say something? How your journey began with him, and how was your experience with him as a partner?
Well, uh, I began my journey with him on a professional basis. I went to interview him for the Telegraph Kolkata, and slowly it shifted to a personal basis. I mean, we got married, courtship, married, etc., etc. And lots of things, I've written a lot about it, as Anand mentioned in my biography, Unlikely Hero, Om Puri. And it's published by Rolly Books, available on Amazon, everywhere online. So, I would like people to read this. And on this year, as Anand says, it's very difficult for us to refer to him in the past tense. We keep saying it's Om's 70th birthday. So this Sunday, 18th October, will be his 70th birthday. And we are planning to have a year long celebration to celebrate his life, his legacy, his philosophy, and his philanthropy. And we've started the Om Puri Foundation in 2017. Last 3 years, we've been very, very active. We're carrying ahead. We're taking forward the philosophy and philanthropy of Omji. And Anant Mahadevan is very much a part of the Om Puri Foundation. And he also was the host of the first Om Puri annual memorial lecture in 2018. And this year we plan to have a film, literature, theatre fest, apart from the most important thing, we are kickstarting our YouTube channel on the 18th of October, Sunday itself. It's called Puri Baate. So
Oh,
we would like everyone to tune in.
sure.
We will be talking about Om Puri, his personal life, his films, talking with directors, people who worked with him, friends, and it will go beyond that. There'll be little nuggets, information, anecdotes, as well as, Ishan will be talking about the tips his father gave him,
Oh,
tips as an actor, which he will be sharing. And there'll be personal anecdotes, and everyone, Anant, everyone, directors who've worked with him, from Spielberg to, Sham Benegal, everyone will be there. And we've already started with, a musical tribute by Sonu Nigam and Talat Aziz and Sharon Prabhakar. So this is the whole idea. We want to keep Omji alive, so he will be there in everyone's, you know, drawing room. So that is the whole idea of Puri Bate. And The Om Puri Foundation, of course, is the Puri Bate is under the Om Puri Foundation, and we will continue to take his films, you know, all over India. His films, his television serials, all over India and abroad. So that is the idea. How we
Wonderful. Awesome, awesome. So, Priya, would you like to ask anything?
Yeah, sure. So I can say my association is in 2020, his last movie, Gulmakai, released. And I was
right.
where he played General Kayani, and I actually was the impact advisor for that movie.
I
So I
see.
worked with Dr. Jayanti Lal Gada and Amjad Khan. So my thing is, see, I'm very active here in the theater community, and as all of you might know, the diaspora around the world is now getting very active. Has always been very active in theater, but as well as getting prominent on the film aspects as well. So from your foundation, because of COVID, we all have come to a grinding halt right now. But when everything moves. And when everything starts travel through the foundation, through your initiatives, do you all have plans to kind of do theater workshops or things like that? Not just lecture is very important to continue his legacy and build upon it, but theater workshops would really benefit because there's a huge need for that. And somebody at the stature of Anandji, you and with the Omji's work would add a lot of value to what we as consumers are seeking.
Yes, Priya. We are, in fact, Omji started the theatre group called Majma way back in 1978. And that was the first, Majma had the first, inaugurated the famed Prithvi Theatre in Bombay with Majma's production of Udvas Dharamshala. And from Majma emerged Nasiruddin Shah Benjamin Gilani's Motley. Of course, somewhere Om became a little, because he was too busy with films. So he didn't have time for theater, but he did do a play, uh, uh, I think in 2015, Teri Amrita. So that was Tumhari Amrita's Punjabi version. So yes, we plan to. In fact, I have told Anant, and Anant, uh, we are reviving his group Majma, which was one of the earliest, best theatre groups, and Anant will be, in charge of that. And of course, there'll be theatre workshops. That's, we'll be coordinating, and we'll keep you informed everything through Puri Bate. So do
Wonderful.
tune in to our YouTube channel, Puri Bate.
We will. Thank you so much.
Lovely.
Awesome. Sunana is also joining us today. Sunana is a writer and poetess and lyricist, and she wrote a couple of songs for films. Sunana, would you like to ask something?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Razia. And I'm actually out right now, so I was trying to find a peaceful place. Um, it's so, I mean, if Omji was here, I would have millions of questions to ask him as a fan, somebody who really likes uh, his acting, him as an actor. But Nandita ji, stepping back a little bit, because you had the आपको खुशनसीबी थी कि आपको साथ मिला, आपके उनके साथ वाबस्तगी रही. So I just had this question that um, while you were with him, you guys were together. Was there a I'm just trying to get into his mind, like what was his process or approach towards a certain role? Anything that you can share or with us as his fans of his acting?
He was very conscientious, obviously, and he was hardworking. He was talented, he was trained. He trained at the National School of Drama, he trained at the Film and Television Institute. So he was doubly trained and he was talented, but he never took his talent and training for granted. He always, I would see him, suppose I was walking around the house, and just like a fourth, fifth, sixth grader, he would be rehearsing, rattoing his lines. And not only for well known directors and filmmakers, even for the youngsters who would come. And if he decided to do their film, then he definitely put his 100%, maybe the script would not have been so great. So the outcome or the director, whatever, but whether it was a young director, whether it was senior directors, like Anandji and all, he definitely put his 100% in everything. He never took his talent for granted, and he practiced and he observed and he observed, and that is how he improved. So, and there are tips he's given, which is in the biography in Unlikely Hero. It's available online. So do read, and you will,
Yeah.
come across many such anecdotes and incidents.
Sure, perfect. Thank you, Sunaina.
Thank
Anand,
you.
Anand ji, as we are fortunate to recognize his work as giving him lifetime achievement award. Would you like to say something about on it?
It's strange. It's strange. All that we can do is give him a grand salute, keep him in our memories, and emulate him as we work. And I think that will be the greatest lifetime achievement award that we can give him, because we keep him alive in generations to come.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much. You are absolutely right. Because with time we see that the taste of the filmmaking is changed. So, anything you want to say about it?
No, you've already taken the first step. You just said Bollywood and then you said Indian cinema. So you have stepped from Bollywood into Indian cinema. That's a good first step to take. Then we could take it from there.
Sure. Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much. And where do I buy your book?
Nandita,
My book,
are you
with both our books are
Oh,
available.
okay. Oh,
Anant Mahadevan's book just released. It's called Once Upon a Prime Time. It's the history of Indian television, very well narrated because he has been part of it. So it's a ringside view, and it's available online. Just type Anant Mahadevan and the book will come. And Om Puri, Unlikely Hero, if you type Nandita Puri, the books, there are other books. So there will be the biography of
so sure,
Om.
we would love to buy. And last words from both of you.
I think I'll leave that to Nandita ji. She should have the right to concluding this lovely little chat we had about Omji. And पूरी बातों से एक कोई एक छोटी सी बात करके आप इसको खत्म कीजिए.
क्या बात है चलिए so बस just let's keep the memory and the legacy alive, and thank you very much, and tune into Puri Bate and support the Om Puri Foundation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us time.